In a small, peaceful village, on the outskirts of a bustling town, there stood a home like no other. A modest home, not big, but filled with love, warmth, and the constant hum of family life. In this home lived a family of 6, Baba, the wise and gentle father, and Ami, the devoted and loving mother. They had 2 sons, Raza and Bilal, and their beautiful wives, Amina and Sarah. Life in this house moved at a calm, steady pace. Every morning the house was filled with the scent of fresh tea, and every night the soft hum of prayers filled the air. Baba and Ami, though older, carried themselves with grace and dignity. Baba's quiet wisdom was like a steady river. All was calm, all was flowing. Ami, with her silver hair and strong hands, took care of everything. Her days were spent in prayer and work, and her nights were dedicated to making sure everything in the house was perfect. But there was one thing that began to stir the calmness in the house. It wasn't something big or loud, but it was enough to make the air feel heavy. Every night after the family would gather for dinner, Ami would retreat to the kitchen, her hands moving automatically to clean the dishes. The sound of plates clinking, water running, and the soft swish of the dishcloth became a part of the night's rhythm. At first it wasn't a problem, but over time, Raza and Sarah, the 2 younger ones, began to notice it more. "How can we sleep with all this noise?" Amina complained one night. "And those early morning prayers?" Sarah sighed. "They wake us up every day, even before the sun comes up." The complaints were small at first, whispered over dinner, but they grew louder with each passing day. Raza and Sarah were frustrated. They loved Ami dearly, but they couldn't help but feel the exhaustion of hearing the clatter of dishes every night. It felt like the peace in the house was being slowly eaten away, and they didn't know how to fix it. One evening, as the sun set and the cool breeze started to fill the house, Raza sat down with Bilal. "We need to talk," he said quietly. "I know Ami does everything for us, but this is getting too much. The noise at night, the early mornings, it's too much." Bilal, who was always a bit more thoughtful, nodded. "I understand, but remember, Ami has been doing this for years. She doesn't ask for help. She just does it. Maybe it's time we step up." Raza was silent for a moment, and then he smiled. "Yes, it's time we do something about it. Let's make sure Ami doesn't have to do everything alone anymore." That night, as Ami began her usual routine in the kitchen, she was shocked to find the sink empty. Raza and Bilal were standing there, smiling at her. "Ami, you don't have to do this tonight. We've got it," they said, rolling up their sleeves and picking up the dishcloths. Ami tried to protest, but her sons wouldn't hear it. "You've done enough for us. Now it's our turn to take care of you." Tears welled up in Ami's eyes, not from sadness, but from a deep, overwhelming joy. She had always believed that her actions spoke louder than words, but now, for the first time, her sons had shown her that they understood. They understood the quiet sacrifices she had made. They understood the love she had given without expecting anything in return. From that night on, things started to change in the house. The atmosphere shifted, not with a loud crash, but like a soft breeze that gently moves through the trees, unnoticed, yet impactful. Raza began to show more respect to Baba, helping him without being asked. Bilal, too, became more thoughtful, ensuring that Ami's work was made easier. And one evening, Amina, without saying a word, quietly entered the kitchen to help Ami wash the dishes. Sarah, seeing Amina's action, joined her. There was no need for words, no need for praise. It was simply the right thing to do, and they did it because they wanted to. Over time, the house that had once been filled with complaints became a home filled with understanding, love, and respect. The simple, everyday acts of kindness started to speak louder than anything else. One evening, as they sat together, sipping tea under the old fan, Raza leaned over to Bilal and whispered, "We always thought our wives needed to respect our parents, but we forgot one important thing. We must lead by example. Respect begins with us." Bilal smiled and nodded. Yes, Raza. We followed their footsteps, and now they are following ours. And so the family grew stronger, not because they demanded respect, but because they lived it. The respect that they had once expected from others, they now gave willingly through their actions. The moral of this story is simple, yet powerful. Respect begins at home. It's not something you can demand. It's something you show through small, everyday actions. When we honor our parents, when we show love and respect, we set an example for others to follow. Remember, a peaceful family isn't built through complaints or demands, but through love and small acts of kindness. Vocabulary section with line breaks. Clatter, the loud noise made when objects hit each other. The clatter of plates filled the kitchen. Protest, to disagree or object. Ami tried to protest, but her sons insisted. Shift, a small change in something. The atmosphere in the house shifted that night. Gratitude, the feeling of being thankful. Ami felt overwhelming gratitude as her sons helped her. Lead by example, to show others how to behave by behaving in that way yourself. We must lead by example, not by demanding respect. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more heartwarming tales, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and remember, respect begins at home.